renowned for high quality winemaking and wine growing. Primarily, the regions in Oregon wine growing are really focused around river valleys and foothills of mountain hillsides. So the mountains and riverways are really the source of a lot of high quality production and dynamic complexity in Oregon vineyards. If we begin with some of the oldest regions in Oregon, we would be looking at the Willamette Valley and the Umpqua Valley, located on the western side of the Cascade Ranges and on the eastern side of the Coast Range Mountains. The Willamette Valley in the north is one of the most renowned regions for Pinot Noir in the country and the world. However, the Umpqua Valley, just to its south, is also equally renowned for Pinot Noir, and as you move further south, it moves into more full-bodied red varieties like Syrah, Cabernet Franc, and Tempranillo. To the further south, above California, we have the Rogue Valley. This is an area that is spread wide from the Eastern Cascades to the West Coast Coast Range Mountains and to the south to the Siskiyous. This area has another region nested within it called the Applegate Valley. This region is based around the Applegate River and spreads out to the coast. This area is most renowned for high quality full-bodied red wines made from grape varieties of Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and the Rhone varieties, Syrah and Grenache. However, that's not to say that Pinot Noir isn't grown in this area, along with Chardonnay and other white varieties. These are just planted closer to the rivers where the vineyards are cooler and at the higher elevations in high vineyards. Wine growing is a complex subject across Oregon. If we move right to the northern boundary with Washington State and along the Columbia River Valley, we have two distinctive regions. One that is closer to the coast, called the Columbia Gorge AVA, and this AVA grows a world of wine in just about 45 miles from east to west. On the western front, you're really focused on those Burgundian varieties that are so at home in the Willamette Valley, like Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Pinot Gris. And then as you move further east, the climate gets drier and warmer, noticeably so, and you start to move into the Rhone varieties of Syrah and Grenache and Viognier, and then even into Spanish varieties like Mencia and Tempranillo and Albarino. Moving further east still, we start to come into bigger full-bodied reds, the Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc family, and even Sauvignon Blancs. As we move all the way to the eastern side of the state, we have the Walla Walla Valley, which, along with the Columbia Gorge, is actually a shared AVA with Washington State. And the Walla Walla Valley crosses both state borders so that you will often see wines with Walla Walla Valley on wine labels that are both registered with Washington State designations and Oregon State designations. This area is the hottest and warmest and most extreme growing environment found in Oregon. And what we find in these regions are really full-bodied, warm, ripe-fruited Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot, primarily in Walla Walla, and then in a nested region called the Rocks District of Milton Freewater on the Oregon side of the AVA. We have AVA that is really becoming renowned for very distinctive, high quality Syrah and Grenache. And these varieties here thrive in this deep river-based alluvial soil that has very full, heavy, rocky structure where the vines are planted and grown close to the ground to really absorb the heat from those rocks in the vineyard and make sure that these fuller bodied, thicker skinned grape varieties receive full ripeness and really develop complexity from this reflected warmth and UV light found in this quite short growing season. So these rocks in Milton Freewater are quite unique, and in fact, this is one of the smallest AVAs in the US, and it is one of the only AVAs in the US that is built and defined around an entire soil series, those Milton Freewater rocks that were deposited millennia ago by the floods of the Missoula floods, but also primarily from the shifting Walla Walla River, which in the past would have been this basin for all of these vineyards. It's an incredibly complex and interesting region and one of the smallest. So the wines are very rare and rarely make it outside of the mailing lists of the wineries in the region or the high-end restaurants around the US. Seek them out if you can.